Hello everyone, and welcome to part 3, or the third part, or whatever, and the final part, I think. Well, I don't know that yet, but welcome everyone to part 3 of ranking all the 2024 films that I saw in 2024, or whatever. So, we have got, I believe it is 23 more movies, but I'm going to try to hurry it up a bit, and I'm going to try not to. Alright, let's just go. On place 23 or 23rd place, I have got Arcadian. This is a, this is kind of like a survival, like apocalypse thingy or whatever, starring Nicolas Cage. And then you've got, some other actors that I think I recognize their faces, but I don't think I've seen them in that many things, but so what you've got here is that this movie is a bit like A Quiet Place, except that you've got these people, you've got Nicolas Cage's character, and then you've got his, like, these two boys, and they are kind of like, I don't know, being with Nicolas Cage or living with his character or whatever, and what you've got is you've got these creatures, but the creatures only come at night, and each day, whatever, or in the morning and stuff, they have to gather things and stuff and materials to, I don't know, I guess barricade the doors or whatever, or do something to keep these creatures out, to not let them get into their house. So instead of A Quiet Place, that's how it is, and instead of A Quiet Place, which it is Don't Make Any Noise, this is, yeah, what I just told you. So what I can tell you though is that I really, a lot of people, I felt like when I, last time I checked the reviews or something on this film, it didn't have that good. I think it had like a 5.9 out of 10 or a 6 out of 10 or something on IMDb. I really enjoyed this film. I think it's got some great shots. I think it just looks great. And I like how simple the film is with just the editing and stuff and just the story and stuff. You know, it's just such a simple film to watch. And it's a bit, from what I remember, it is a bit slow paced. But that's what I appreciated so much about a film. I just thought it was honestly pretty damn cool. Negatives that I can say about the film is that I do think that the film is maybe a little bit too long. It could have been a bit shorter, but I still very much enjoyed the film, and I don't really get why some people really don't like this film that much, or so. Yeah. On number 22 or whatever, on place 22, I've got In a Violent Nature. This is a movie that I think first came to Shudder or whatever. And what I can tell you, what you've got is that this movie is basically, it's a horror movie, but it's from the perspective of the killer or whatever. And you're following the killer throughout the movie. And this killer is called Johnny, I think, something like that. So it's basically like, I think that it's kind of like Jason Voorhees, if you were following him or whatever. Something like that. A few people are comparing this Johnny character or whatever, or maybe just kind of like the premise of the film to something to do with Friday the 13th, Jason Voorhees, something like that. I think that a few people, I think most people just thought this film was like, okay. I can tell you, I enjoyed it a lot. I didn't think that the walking scenes or whatever dragged. To be honest, I just thought it was pretty cool. I really like the look of the killer or Johnny, whatever. I think it's very cool. You've got some pretty good kills here, too. One kill especially, which is extremely good and very gory, very gross. And the one that everyone is talking about, that I'm also going to talk about, the yoga kill. And that right there, it stays in your mind. It's an amazing kill. I did think the film was a bit too long, though, definitely. And I felt like towards like the third act of the film or whatever, things just started to get a bit downhill, or a bit boring somehow, whatever. But I still think it's worth a watch. It's got some very gnarly kills in there. Yoga Kill especially, which is full on gore, insane. But I had a fun time with it, and I do recommend you checking it out if you, I don't know, I guess like these types of movies or whatever. So yeah, on the 21st place or whatever, or on place 21, I've got Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. Funny enough, I saw Mad Max Fury Road and Furiosa on the exact same day. I saw Fury Road sometime in the middle of the day or whatever, and then I saw Furiosa in the cinema. And my dad, he was a big fan of Fury Road and stuff. Yeah, I checked out Fury Road. I liked the movie very much. I thought it was extremely well done and stuff. I mean, I don't feel like the film has that much of a story, but still, I mean, you've got some great action scenes in there and stuff, and I guess just kind of this wasteland or whatever is definitely something memorable. And then you've got these like cars or whatever, and then you've got action scenes. I don't know, but Furiosa, so this is basically a prequel movie, but it's focusing on the character Furiosa. I don't think that it is needed that much, and I do feel like I did like this movie a lot. In fact, I think I liked Furiosa actually more than Fury Road. I know that is a hot take or something, but gotta be honest. So, yeah, same with Furiosa here. You've got some great action scenes and stuff, and the movie looks great. And I think that Dementus, I think his name was, or something like that, played by Chris Hemsworth, is a great villain in this film. And I think it's got some intense moments and stuff. It's a very, very cool movie. It's just doesn't feel like something that's that rewatchable to me. And I still think like that the story is a little bit, I don't know. So, definitely worth a watch though. If you like action movies and you haven't seen like Fury Road or Furiosa or just the Mad Max franchise or whatever, I think these films are definitely worth checking out because they are very good. I 100% understand though why people think that this is like, why people really, really like this movie stuff. But yeah, I don't really know what to say. Definitely check it out. On place 20 or 20th place or whatever, I've got Immaculate, the religious horror film starring Sydney Sweeney. What I can tell you is that, well, you had, I'm not the first person to say this, but in 2024, you have got some, in 2024, last year, we had some, kind of like pregnancy horror, Christian horror films. We had The First Omen, and then we had Immaculate. I think that those are the two most kind of, most memorable ones, are the ones talked most about. But what you've got here, you've got Sydney Sweeney, who plays this nun. And I don't remember a lot about this film, but she goes to this place to, you know, take her vows or whatever. And she, yeah, it's basically it's Christian horror. You can compare this film a bit to The First Omen. I did think The First Omen was, I think, a little bit better. That's why I have the film higher on this list. But what I can tell you though is Sydney Sweeney's acting is amazing. I mean, her acting is very good in this film, especially like in that last shot or whatever, in that ending scene. If you know, you know. And that ending scene is shocking. And I liked it that they didn't actually show it. But yeah. So I don't know why. I think that a few people didn't like this film that much. They thought it was like, okay. But I liked this film very much. I thought it was fun. I thought it was just, I thought the pace was good. I thought it was creepy. I do like The First Omen a bit more, I think, but I really know what to say. And Sydney Sweeney, I'm not really extremely familiar with her work, but I have seen a little bit of Euphoria. I had seen her a little bit in that, and then I've seen her in Anyone But You, and yeah, I think that's actually about it. Maybe I'm forgetting some. I probably am, maybe. But what I can tell you though, this is worth a watch, definitely. And yeah, because Sydney Sweeney really shows her performance and what she can do in this film very well. So it's definitely worth a watch. And yeah, I liked it a lot. On place 19 or whatever, I have got Cuckoo. This is a neon film or something like that. What you've got here is you've got Hunter Schafer, who plays this, you've got these people that go to this kind of resort, and then Hunter Schafer's character, forgot what, the main character was called, but what I can tell you though, you've got Hunter Schafer in here, you've got Dan Stevens, has been with an Abigail, and, some other things, definitely, but what I can tell you, this is a very weird film. It doesn't make a lot of sense, and it is a very weird film, but that's what I really like about it, because I think that kind of just how they kind of set up these scares or whatever in the film, I thought it was really smart, and there's just something about this film which I thought was done really well, and it's a few people, I mean, you've got one side of people that didn't like this film that much, and then you've got one side that really liked it, I think, and I was one of them. Okay, I maybe wouldn't say really liked it, but it's definitely worth a watch, and it's creepy, it's really weird, and it's smart, and it's funny. I mean, Hunter Schafer's character even gives away, like, lines and stuff, and, like, points out kind of, I guess, what do I know, things that people are saying, and she's just like, that's a weird thing to say. And it's funny, and it's fun, and it's creepy, and it's great. So, check it out. Alright, on number 18, or whatever, I've got Cuckoo. I've got Longlegs. Yeah, this film, I don't know. Except I know that this film is really popular. I think that kind of just the marketing of this film when it went onto like TikTok or something. I don't use TikTok anymore, but I think that this film had something to do with kind of TikTok and how the marketing of this film was very smart, because that's what made the film really popular. A lot of people were talking to Longlegs about like, oh, scariest film of the year, whatever. What I can tell you though is that this is, I'm not the first person to say this, I know, but what I can tell you, this is kind of like an homage or something to, how do you say, 90s serial killer films or whatever. You've got things like Silence of the Lambs and stuff, and Seven or whatever. And so you've got this this detective, this FBI detective, Lee Harker, and I don't know, this film was a bit hard to explain for me. And then you've got this kind of Longlegs killer or whatever, played by Nicolas Cage, with all and how kind of it has something to do with a girl's birthday or what. No, it's hard to explain. Oh, whoa, okay, it's hard to explain, but I can tell you that Nicolas Cage's performance in this film is extremely good. I mean, he's really creepy, with his cuckoo and with his mommy, daddy, and make me, and set me for the hell of living. You know, stuff like that. Yeah, I don't really know what to say. A really well-made film. Only negative I can say is that I think that it's a bit like... This is, once again, I guess just a me problem with films. I think I've taken this up before. I do think that editing in this film is a little bit inconsistent, and a few like scenes or whatever I think go on for maybe a little bit too long, and I'm just like, alright, we get it. Otherwise than that, and also that the ending isn't like amazing or whatever, but you know, it's really creepy and it's great, and there's a reason why this film got talked about extremely much and why it got so much attention. I can say more things about this film, but I want to get to the rest of the films or whatever. So, yeah, Longlegs. Definitely check this one out, alright? On 17 or 17th place or whatever, I've got Wicked. Or Wicked Part 1. Whatever you want to say. I'm just going to say Wicked because that's... The point is, this isn't a film that was that much on my radar. I had heard some very good things about this film. And when it comes to musicals, you know, musicals isn't something that I would like. I'm really interested to check out, but I can't say that I don't like musicals. I do like musical films because I haven't seen that many ones that are really bad. I mean, even Mean Girls 2024, I mean, it does what it's supposed to do, but it's just that a musical thing didn't really work for me. But there's some musicals, musical films that I really do enjoy. One of my favourite ones is Sweeney Todd, Demon Barber of Fleet Street. Not just because it's a little bit of horror and, or a little bit, a lot, but you know. But I just really like that film. And then you've got Mamma Mia, the Mamma Mia film. I think it's pretty good. I like it a lot. I don't think it's like amazing or something, but I like it a lot too. I liked Wonka quite a bit. So, yeah, but you've got Wicked. This has Ariana Grande, however you say her name, and it has the person who plays Elphaba. Let's see. I don't think I recognize the actor. No, I think I do a bit, but I don't remember the actor's name. Then you've got Jeff Goldblum in here. You've got you've definitely, well, what I can tell you is that you've got the girl or the mum or whatever from Everything Everywhere All at Once. There's a lot of memorable actors in here. And I can tell you that the musical numbers or whatever in this film are really good and really well made. This film also looks amazing. It's a really well made film. And this thing to do with the Wizard of Oz thing, I think they're handling it very, very well. And I did think that a few, like, scenes went maybe a bit too much into the silliness for me, whatever, but you've got some musical numbers here that really, that are memorable. I didn't think that all of the songs were amazing or great, whatever. A few of them were pretty good. I mean, quite a lot of them were pretty good, though. So, I don't know what to say, and it's a very impressive film. It's got a pretty damn cool third act. And I saw this in the cinema with my mum. Yeah, she really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it quite a bit. You can see this is a great family film or whatever for, I guess, if you can tolerate musicals or whatever. I don't know. I liked it a lot. It's definitely worth a watch. So, yeah. Number 16 or whatever, I've got Incoming. If you don't know what this is or whatever, Incoming... This is I think it was like a straight to Netflix film or whatever, and it stars the person who plays, I forgot the actor's name, but I think it's like Mason Thames or Themes or something, I don't know. But it's got the main character in The Black Phone called, oh shit, what is his name? It's Finn, right? Finney or something. I don't know, something like that. But it's got the main character in The Black Phone. I'm not talking about the grabber, but you know the boy. It's simple. You've got that character in here. The actor in here. And then I think you've got some other actors, which I don't know that much. No, I think you've got like... what is his name? I think it's like Jerry Seinfeld or something. I don't know. You've got him in here, I think, at least, if I'm thinking about the right person. And what this is a straight to Netflix film, whatever. And I didn't have that high hopes for it, and I hadn't heard a lot about it. But when I heard that it kind of had a little bit of kind of a super bad type of premise or whatever, I'm always up for those type of movies, you know, teenagers trying to, I don't know, get into situations to impress girls or whatever, and then it's just really awkward. You know, because Superbad is a pretty damn good film. You've got the iconic McLovin scene and stuff like that. So, yeah, a lot of people, or quite a lot of people at least, didn't like this film that much. I do understand why. For some people, I think that the humor is definitely going to be maybe a bit too over the top. But for me, I thought this was really fun. I thought it had some... I agree that some of the moments or whatever, some of the comedy or whatever, or the humor, didn't work for me completely. It worked a bit though, but, you know... But I think that most, from what I remember, most of the humor and comedy in this film did work for me quite a lot. So, yeah, I don't think it's going to be everyone's cup of tea, but I liked it, and I thought it was very fun. Like I said before, I don't think that all the moments were like... I had a lot of fun with it. I don't really know what to tell you. Yeah. At number 15, I have got A Different Man. This is a new A24 film, and this was a new A24 film, whatever. It starred, what was his name? I was just about to say Aaron Paul, but no, he's not within this movie, alright? Adam Pearson, I think. Well, I think that someone called Aaron Schimberg or something directed this film, and then you've got Sebastian Stan in here. You've got, and I think his name is Adam Pearson or something. So what you've got Sebastian Stan in the beginning of the film, who has this kind of like a disorder or whatever it's called, this kind of thing, sickness, whatever you want to call it, that makes him grow like tumors on his face or whatever. So his, he feels very insecure, obviously, to go outside and stuff, because you see in the film that people stare at him or whatever, and make fun of his appearance, and maybe make comments or whatever, and whisper things to their friends or whatever. So he feels very, very insecure about his face and whatever, until he then gets this, until he then goes for this kind of medical procedure or whatever. That is, there's a quite low chance, but there's a chance that like a lot, like that, like his whole body or whatever, or that just like most of the things on his face and whatever are going to be gone, so he looks like a normal person. I'm not trying to sound mean or anything. I'm just trying to figure this as fast as possible. And luckily it does his whole body or whatever. Luckily it works on his whole body. And so then after that, I guess you can say that he has a normal face or whatever, and this is when you see Sebastian Stan's character. And then it's gone some time or whatever, and then he meets this man who played by Aaron Schimberg, I mean Adam Pearson, I think, who is except that he also has this kind of thingy, whatever, that Sebastian Stan's character used to have, only that he is comfortable in his body, only that he doesn't really care that much what other people think, and he is happy with his life. And then that's when this film kind of turns into this, I guess, I'm not going to say horror, but, you know, drama and thriller or something like that, where he just feels like he's not getting the attention or whatever, and he wants his older self back. And it turns pretty crazy in that. What I can tell you, though, is that this film had some really great performances and stuff, and I liked the simple editing in the film. I liked kind of just the film was just very simply struck. Oh my! The film was just structured very simply, or whatever you want to say, and was just put together very well, I think. And I thought I really, really liked it. I do think that there's some, like, a bit stupid or dumb decisions in this film. Like, why don't you do this? Then people would have understood it better, whatever it is. But maybe you got to make this mistakes to actually make the film longer or feature length or whatever, or make the film work more. And this is a film that this feels like a film that you can take tons of different ways or routes or whatever to, I guess, continue the story or whatever. This film decided to go one way or take one route or whatever, and it worked pretty well. And I don't really know what to say. It's a pretty wild ride, and this is definitely an A24 film. I don't really know what to say. I enjoyed it a lot. It's definitely worth checking out. So, yeah. At number 14, or whatever, I have got Civil War. This film is directed by Alex Garland, who I believe is the same person who directed Annihilation and Ex Machina, I think it's called, or something like that. Yeah, you've got this civil war that's going on, and basically what you have here is that the film always focuses on, I forgot the characters' names. It was quite a while ago I saw this film. I think it was like 6 months ago or more or something. But you've got Kirsten Dunst in here, who plays one of the main characters. I think she's actually called like Lee in this film or something. I don't know. And then you've got Kaylee Spaney. Is that how you say? Who's in here? Which is, yeah, also the same person who played Rain in Alien Romulus. So I guess now you've got a pretty recognizable cast here. And then I also think, from what I believe, I also think that you have, am I thinking right? But I think you have the person who plays Todd from Breaking Bad in here too. And I don't know, this film, I think it's shot very well, and it has some definitely intense moments and stuff. I just felt like the film was a little bit too much, like, maybe in your face, like, and it began feeling that a few of the scenes or whatever were just a little bit repetitive, and you know, I don't know, what I can tell you though, it's definitely worth a watch. It's a very well-made film and stuff. It just felt like something I was missing, and it just felt like some of the scenes or some of the moments or whatever at some point were just getting a bit repetitive. So yeah, and I also just think that the ending of the film, whatever, isn't like the most satisfying thing. But what I can tell you though is that it's an intense film. It has a lot of action in it. You've got a cast here, which is, you've got a really good cast in here. And yeah, and I've heard that Alex Garland or whatever is going to, I think, direct a new war movie that's going to be called Warfare, I think, something like that. A24 has dropped the trailer for the film, but I don't think I've heard a lot from the film otherwise. But that war film is going to star, like, the hell is it, Joseph Quinn. It's going to star, I think, a lot of memorable actors. But, you know, the point is, this film, Civil War, is worth checking out. And, yeah. At number 13, or place 13, or whatever you want to say, I've got The First Omen. As a lot of people, I know that a lot of people really, really like The First Omen film. You know, the one that came out in the 70s is what I'm trying to say. But I know that a lot of people like the Omen from, I think it's like 1976 something, and yes, it's definitely a horror classic. For me, it's not really. I thought it was good, but I didn't like it as much as everyone else, I guess. Now you've got The First Omen, and you know, it always feels like there's a little bit of a problem with horror prequels, where a prequel for something, whatever, just feels like a lazy idea or something for the film franchise or whatever. But The First Omen, I like this a lot. Let me get into it. So I don't think I recognize any of the actors in here, and this film is a little bit like Immaculate, except I do like this film, The First Omen, more than Immaculate. Yeah, The First Omen, you know, it's got some great shots, it's got some very creepy moments, and it's got some memorable scenes and images, I guess, that stick in your head, especially that are stuck in your head, especially when it comes to things like involving pregnancy and stuff. And it has it has quite a lot of, like, you know, pretty creepy and scary scenes. It's got some really nice shots and stuff. and it's honestly a pretty damn good, I guess, kind of prequel, and it's something that actually, I guess, merits to the story, or merits to the existence of the of this franchise, of the Omen franchise. So it's not really a disappointment, definitely not, and it's, I don't really know what to say. It's entertaining, it's pretty damn well shot, it's got some creepy moments, don't remember moments, and what I can say as a conclusion is that it is definitely worth a watch. At number 12 or whatever, I have got Beetlejuice, the sequel to Beetlejuice. Before I saw the second Beetlejuice film, I had seen the first one not that long ago. I do enjoy the first Beetlejuice film. I feel like it's a film that I appreciate more than I actually like it, even though I still do, I guess, like the film. But, you know, it's maybe just a bit too over the top for me at some moments, but I definitely do appreciate what it's doing, and I do like most of Tim Burton's work. So now when you've got the sequel that is called Beetlejuice, not just Beetlejuice 2, but honestly, I don't know which name for the film or whatever that I prefer, but I actually liked this film more than the first Beetlejuice film, which might be a hot take, I know, but I just think the story works a lot more here for me. I really liked how the story worked. I thought the cast here was great. You've got Winona Ryder back in here as Lydia, right? Lydia Deetz or something. I don't know. I don't think I remember that much. You've got Jenna Ortega in this film, which joins the role, which joins the cast in this film. You've got Catherine O'Hara back. You've got Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice back again. So yeah, it's honestly just, and I just think it's really fun. It's got, I really like the kind of story, and I don't really know what to say. I guess kind of the world building and stuff. I thought it was really fun in the cinema. I actually think that the first time that I saw this film, when I saw it in the cinema or whatever, I've only seen this film one time, but my first thoughts on the film was that I gave it like a 4.5 out of 5 stars or something. And in the beginning, I was just like, oh my god, I love this so much. I only had like one little flaw and stuff, and that's just a bit of the editing was a bit, I guess, kind of in your face, maybe a bit weird or whatever. But I have changed my my rating to a 4 out of 5 stars now or something. But still, it's definitely worth a watch, and I did enjoy more than the first Beetlejuice film actually, and it was really fun to see in the cinema. I really enjoyed it, and my mum enjoyed it even more, I think, and it's also just a great kind of Halloween. And I was going to, and by the way, I was going to make a review on this film quite a long time ago, quite close to when it actually came out, but and my review was finished, but then my video had some copyright things in it, so I was forced to take it down, and then I guess I didn't do another review or something, so that's a bit sad. But still, what I can tell you is it's got some great Halloween moments and stuff in there too. Like, you can say that this is a Halloween film, I think so at least, and I enjoyed it very much. It's worth watching with your family or whatever. It's got some mildly, I guess, scary moments and stuff, but most of it is taken, I guess, in a more like comedic approach, which is also kind of the case with the first film. So it's definitely worth a watch. I liked the first film. I like this one even more, and check it out when you can or whatever, because I had a very good time with it. On 11th place or whatever, I've got Maxine. I am a big fan of X. Pearl, which is normally or mostly whatever everyone's favorite is. I definitely understand why that's like everyone's favorite film in this X trilogy or this trilogy or whatever, because that's a lot more on the like kind of psychological side or whatever. The point is that I liked Pearl, but I didn't like it as much as X, and I didn't like it as much as Maxine. But I still very much appreciated the film, and I still thought it was very well made. But Maxine is, yeah, it's the third movie in this X trilogy, whatever, and it's the conclusion to this trilogy, or to this story, I guess. So this is like taking place in 1985 or something in Hollywood, and you've got Maxine or Pearl or whatever you want to say, she's back here with doing adult things and whatever, adult stuff. You've also got Kevin Bacon in here, which I know is quite popular. I haven't seen him in, I don't think I've seen him in that many films, only like this one actually, I think. But I know that he's within Stir of Echoes, I think, and that he's within Hollow Man, I think the film is called. But I don't recognize him from some other things than that. But he's really great in here. This film doesn't have like, this one kind of more feels like kind of a crime thingy or whatever, or a bit more like a mystery or thriller or whatever, because it doesn't have as many like horror moments or whatever, horror things in there. But I still thought it was pretty damn good. I liked it a lot. For a lot of people, this isn't that great because they don't think that it's a satisfying conclusion to the trilogy or whatever, or to these films. For me, personally, I didn't think it was like really satisfying, but I still thought it was a good way to end this. There was a few questions that I wanted to get answered, but that were unanswered, and that I wanted to know a little bit more about. But I still think that this is, out of the horror trilogies that I have, that I've seen, this is definitely one of the best ones, and all the three films are just good, up to very good or really good or whatever. And for me, I was happy with this, and I liked it a lot. So yeah. And everyone, now we're getting into the top 10 or whatever. And at number 10 or 10th place, I have got Smile 2. The first Smile film, I do enjoy quite a lot. I was a little bit like, kind of from what I remember, like a little bit disappointed by the ending or something. I didn't think it was that satisfying. I thought they could have done maybe a little bit better. But I still do like the first Smile film. Smile 2. And a few people actually prefer the first Smile film to this film. But most of people think that Smile 2 is a better film, and I can definitely see that. I think that a lot of people's problems with the film or whatever, from what I've heard, is that it's not doing anything massively new. Except that now, I guess, you're in the eyes of, I guess, a pop star or an artist or whatever, Sky Riley, and how she's dealing with these with this smile curse or whatever. What I can tell you though is that this film has some moments that I actually thought were very creepy, and I watched this film in the cinema with my mum, and she thought it was terrifying, and I was just like, I saw the substance with her too, even though that's not really a scary film. I guess it's more a gross film, because it's not like, I don't know, but the point is that she liked the film a lot, I liked the film a lot. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, Naomi Scott's performance is amazing. I'm not the first person to say this, but her performance in this film is amazing. One of the best performances, or at least horror film performances, that I have seen. And I know she's been with an Aladdin 2019 or something. I liked that movie a lot, and I liked her in that movie too. But here she delivers a really, really great performance. And even though for a few people, I think that it's going to be a little bit over the top, with, I guess, just her emotions and stuff, for me, it worked quite a lot. Not only do I think it's better than the first film, but I think that it's got some pretty creepy moments here. I think the runtime is good. The performances are all great and stuff. It's memorable. And while I do think that there were some, like, things that they could have done, some dumb choices and stuff. And why I do think that the ending of the film, while I do think it is like, I guess I could say a good ending or like an okay ending, I still think it goes a little bit over the top, because if you know, you know. But I don't really know what to say. Definitely a really good, a pretty damn good horror film sequel, whatever, that actually probably for most people surpasses the original, the first film. So and that's the case with, that's what I think too. So it's definitely worth a watch, and I liked it a lot. At number 9, I have got Abigail. Now, the thing is that I recently rewatched this film, and I actually enjoyed it more than I did the first time I saw it. And the first time I saw this film in the cinema, I enjoyed it very much, a lot. But I just felt there were a few things that I didn't quite fully appreciate, and that the third act, it didn't work for me that much. On the second watch, I enjoyed the film quite a lot more. And I could put this film actually higher on the, if we're ranking these films where based on enjoyment, which I am doing, but still, so this is probably going to be a film that's going to be a lot higher on this list, even though it's on the top 9 now. But I don't want to change anything, because I don't want to change the list or whatever. So, but what I can tell you, I enjoy this film extremely much. I love it. I mean, you've got a great cast here. You've got Melissa Barrera, you've got Catherine Newton, you've got Giancarlo Esposito, you've got Dan Stevens, you've got Angus Cloud, I think. Yeah, rest in peace, by the way. And you've got a really good cast in here, and all the characters are really entertaining. Also, the funny thing is that you know that these characters or whatever in the film are evil people, but you still just can't help to just enjoy them so much on screen and stuff. I think this film is funny. I think it has some funny moments. I don't think it's like hilarious or something. It could have been a bit more funny, but still, I think it's a funny film. It brings a lot what horror fans want. You know, it brings all the gore, all wild gore and stuff. I think it's creative. I think it's cool. It's so fun. It's one of the most fun times I've had in the cinema. It's definitely worth a watch. It's very, very bloody. It's very fun. It's very over the top. It's like silly. It's funny, and it's just such a great time. So much that I was close to giving this film like a 5 out of 5, but I was just like, no, because it's not in the level of like Terminator 2 for me or something. But still, in enjoyment, I loved this film. I love this film. I still do. And I enjoyed it more on a second watch or on a rewatch or whatever. And yeah, when it comes to vampire flicks and stuff and vampire films, I don't think I've seen that many. I definitely know quite a lot that I haven't seen, like Dog Soldiers. No, maybe I'm thinking of werewolf film. Dog Soldiers, Daybreakers and stuff. When it comes to vampire films, you've got Blade, the first Blade, which I've seen, which I enjoyed quite a lot. You've got The Lost Boys, which I don't enjoy that much. A lot of people, especially the YouTube Cody Leach, loves that film. I thought it was good, but I enjoyed it, but I didn't think it was like amazing. But the point is that this right here, this is by the same team. This film, Abigail, is by the same team or whatever, Radio Silence. Same people who did Ready or Not, which I really enjoy, and I think like one of the Scream films or something. And I really, really like their way of directing. I really, really like the style of movies or whatever. And it was really, really fun, this film. So definitely check it out. Number 8, everyone. At number 8, everyone, we have got what might be one of the best streaming, straight to streaming, whatever, on Netflix films or whatever, that we have got. So for number 8 for me is going to be Carry On. And yeah, so what you've got here, you've got Taron Egerton here, who plays this kind of this guy who works by the airport to kind of like how do you say, accept all the different suitcases and stuff or whatever. I don't know what the job is called, but this is a little bit like Die Hard, I guess. Die Hard 2, that it's on an airport. So he has to like this guy, the villain in the film, played by Jason Bateman, which is a great villain in this film. Though I love his performance. I like all the performances in this film. He has to like he's forced to kind of deliver this package with something inside, with like a bomb or whatever inside the suitcase, and it's really intense. It's got some great action scenes in there. I thought it was really fun. I liked all the performances. I thought the editing in the film was great. It didn't try to do anything like too crazy or too unique or something. It was just really straightforward, and even though it feels very basic or quite basic, it's still extremely fun. And maybe I thought the film was like a little bit too long or something. And even though the film is a bit cliched here and there, I guess kind of especially in the ending or whatever, or the end of the film, I still think it was really, really fun. And yeah, definitely one of the best straight to streaming films or whatever, one of the best streaming films or streaming service films or Netflix originals or Netflix films, whatever you want to say. I really, really enjoyed this film. Yeah, definitely check it out. Number 7 or whatever, I have got Anora. For this film wasn't that much on my radar or whatever. But the time when I think I first heard about the film was when I was watching like a Cody Leach video or something. He mentioned this film, and what you've essentially got here is in this film, what this film is about is that you've got this sex worker or whatever, played by Mikey Madison, and which is the same person who plays one of the characters in one of the Scream films, Scream 2022 or something. And then she meets this guy or whatever. She meets this Russian guy. First of all, it's a lot of like paying Mikey Madison's character or whatever, or Anora, or Annie, that she's according in the film to, I guess, have sex with him, whatever. But then they eventually fall in love. So there's a lot of the film, in the beginning at least, a lot of the film is just, I guess, them hanging out with their friends or whatever, and then they're having sex, and then they're kissing and stuff, and a lot of that. But then towards like the second act of the film, whatever, it becomes so much drama, and it changes up the mood pretty quickly. And then you've got these Russian people that want them to they're going to get married, but then they don't want them to get married or whatever. And the Russian people, whatever, they don't want the boyfriend to be with Annie and stuff. And it's funny. It turns really fun. The film is just really funny. It's sad. It's really, really. It's so much drama and stuff. This is the first Sean Baker film that I've seen. I haven't seen The Florida Project or Tangerine or something like that. But this is the first Sean Baker film that I've seen, and I gotta say I'm pretty impressed with this first film. And while I do think that the film may be a little bit too long on a few parts, it still deals with some like quite strong themes or whatever, and I guess emotions and stuff, and it works really well in the film. And for a lot of people, the ending, I think that for a few people, the ending of this film isn't going to work completely for them, but for me, it definitely did work, and I thought it was a really strong a great like end or ending point or whatever for the film to end. So I gotta say, this film is really well done. It's got some amazing performances in there, especially from Mikey Madison's character. And so you've just it really made me I don't know, it's just a powerful and strong film that deals with a lot of different things, that deals with what do I know, the consequences to extreme romance or something, if you will. So I don't know, but it's definitely worth a watch. It's a pretty damn long film. I think it's like 2 hours and 20 minutes or 2 hours and 40 minutes, but I definitely thought it was worth to the end. So definitely check it out. But maybe not with your parents or something, because, yeah. At number 6, or whatever, we're at place 6, I've got The Wild Robot. This is a film that I saw with my mum. I had heard some pretty good things about this film. I knew that it was a DreamWorks film or whatever. And I can tell you, this is definitely, easily one of the best things that DreamWorks has done. So you've got this story with this robot called like Roz or something, from what I remember. And the film is basically about this robot, I guess, connecting or kind of, how can you say, discovering the outside world, or discovering the nature with all the animals and stuff. And then they form like a, I don't know what I can tell you though. The film has some great animation. It has some really sweet moments. It has some sad moments. It has some sweet moments. It has some great shots. It has a great story. And it's a great family film too. It's a really, really good film. And it's definitely worth a watch. So I don't really know what to tell you, but it's just, it has a lot of strong things going on there, and I don't really not say. So yeah, all right everyone, so I know that this list may sound very weird and random for like based on my enjoyment or whatever, but like I said when I was talking about Abigail, maybe my opinions have changed about these films or whatever, but I don't want to change the place of my ranking, because that's just gonna take extra long time, and then I'm gonna have to like think really much, whatever. But at number 5, I've got Terrifier 3. So I had seen the second Terrifier film. I saw it mostly because of curiosity, just to see all of how popular it became, and of all the clips and stuff, and how extreme it was, and the bedroom scene, the bedroom kill especially. And I enjoyed the film. I definitely thought it was too long, but yeah. And then I watched Terrifier 3, and I really, really enjoyed it. And then I decided to rewatch the second film. My thought, I think I liked the film a bit more actually, but my thoughts were kind of the same. I still thought the film was definitely too long. Then I watched the first film, which I had actually never seen before. I enjoyed that one, even though it's not very powerful in the story, clearly, obviously. I watched All Hallows Eve 2, which I didn't like whatsoever, but I mean, it's got some interesting things going on in there. I guess I can appreciate it in some way, but still, definitely not a good film. But Terrifier 3, this is definitely my favorite out of the Terrifier films or whatever. Why I do feel like, well, because the second film was such a big improvement to the first film, and because it was just so impressive. I like the second film a lot, but it's still definitely too long for me and stuff like that. But the good thing with this third film is that this film, it has a great length, and it doesn't overstay its welcome or anything. And Terrifier 3, I don't really know what to tell you. I was really excited when the trailer first dropped for this film. I was really excited, and I think I made a video on it. and I was really excited to just like get home from school or something or whatever it was to react to the trailer and see the trailer and stuff. The trailer got me pretty interested. We were getting Sienna back and Jonathan back, so that's great. What I can tell you, I really love how art is in this film. I really love like this, like the Christmas theme, whatever, to this film. Christmas horror film this is definitely, and I never thought that they could go, oh, I didn't even know that they could go even more bloodier and crazy and gross and gruesome, whatever, than the second film. They did. They definitely did. And I'm one of those, I guess I'm just a psychopath that enjoys that, because the kills in here are amazing. It's a lot of use of practical effects, so obvious, and with Damien Leone, it's really impressive what he can do. And yeah, it's more gore, there's more lore. It's got some memorable scenes, it's got some super gross scenes and stuff, but I loved it so much. I just love kind of this, I love the Christmas thingy to this movie or whatever, the theme. I love how Art looks. You've got Art the Clown, but he's Santa, and it's just, he's really great at being creepy and scary, while at the same time being funny and hilarious. David Howard Thornton really is a great actor. And for me, I was very happy when I saw this film. And yeah, so I don't really know what to say. Definitely don't check this film out with your parents or whatever, unless, I don't know, unless there's an exception or whatever. But I really enjoyed it. And at number 4, everyone, a film that probably I was never going to watch unless, but I had heard some buzz about it or whatever. So at number 4, I have got Mads. This is a film that I think exclusively came on Shudder or whatever, and I had heard things that I had heard of the film was that essentially the whole film was in one take, or whatever. The whole film is one take, and except they do edit parts in the film, whatever. But it's edited, and you can barely see when they edit, so it's used extremely well. So it really does make the film look like it's one take. Yeah, so this is a French horror film that came to Shudder first, and what I can tell you, yeah, it's short. It looks like it's shot in one take, but they do edit and stuff. But you can't really see it because it's just used so damn well. And how the story and stuff, you know, we're following this character, whatever. When we're following these characters in this film, I never think that the scenes drag on for too long. It's like, if you see the characters or whatever driving a car, and it keeps on filming them when they're driving until something new happens or whatever, those scenes, they never get tiring, whatever, so it's used extremely well. The acting in this film is amazing, and this may seem like kind of like a zombie film, whatever, and it is somehow, but it's so cool. It's so cool because it's like you've got this guy called like Roman or something, or Romain or something, I don't know, and he goes to this party or whatever, and then it's kind of is he just on, I guess, drugs or whatever, or is he actually feel like something is beginning to happen? And I don't know, it's wild, it's crazy, it's twisted, and oh my god. And for being a quite low budget film, at least, it's extremely impressive. And the fact that the whole film was only like one shot or whatever, but I still enjoyed it really much. The first time I saw this film, whatever, or the first time when I decided to what my rating was going to be for this film, I actually gave it a 5 out of 5. Now, for me, it's on a 4.5 or whatever, because I've changed my ratings, or like tons of films that I've seen or something, but definitely worth a watch, because for me, it's an amazing horror film. And yeah. At number 3 or whatever, or at place 3, I've got Deadpool and Wolverine. The first Deadpool film, when I first saw it, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I didn't think it was like perfect or something, but I really enjoyed the first Deadpool film or whatever. I didn't think it was like perfect or something, but I still really enjoyed it. The second Deadpool film I thought was good, but I definitely didn't think it was good as the first one or whatever. And with Deadpool and Wolverine, I just feel like, oh my god, this feels like the biggest cash grab or whatever. It feels like Deadpool and Wolverine, really, just with that title. Yeah, yeah, this is, I don't really know what to say. I actually hadn't seen, I asked, like, actually, I asked ChatGPT, because before I wanted to see Deadpool and Wolverine, I was just like, do you have to see all the other films with Deadpool or whatever? Do you have to see all the X-Men films and Logan and stuff like that? And then ChatGPT said, yes. And I was just like, oh, I can't bother. I don't want to watch all the X-Men films or whatever. And I don't really, but, so I just skipped about that. So I just skipped that and just went straight to Deadpool and Wolverine. And yeah, I still had a blast with the film. I think that it's got some, you've got some great action scenes in here. You've got like, such a good duo or whatever. When you've got Deadpool and Wolverine in here, I think that you've got some really funny moments here. For a lot of people, the story in this film wasn't that strong and didn't work for them that much. For me, it did work. I mean, it's not that strong or something, but it still worked for me. I think you've got some really funny moments in here. I think this film, it uses, it like makes fun of itself, kind of, and makes fun of, like, I don't know, I guess, some action film. It has that Deadpool, one of the Deadpool things which makes those films special, and it's hard to explain, but it's a really fun film. And I was close to giving it a 5 out of 5, but it was something with like the third act or whatever, which just got a bit too silly for me, but still definitely worth a watch and way better than I expected. So yeah, I enjoyed this really much. At number 2 or whatever, or I've got Inside Out 2. I'm a big fan of the first Inside Out film, and but I did feel like there was just something about that film that I do really like the first Inside Out film. I think I've given it like a 4.5 out of 5 or something, but I really do like the first Inside Out film. With the second film, I had heard that it had been getting some pretty damn good reviews, and that it was, and that how people had Pixar is back again, is back at it again or whatever, and that Inside Out 2 was a really good sequel. And so I checked it out in the cinema with my friends, and I actually might think that I might actually enjoy this film a little bit more than the first one, actually. So I don't know what to say. I just really like, you've got Riley here back at it again, you've got new emotions, or whatever, you've got an anxiety that's introduced, you've got embarrassment, I think it's called, or something like that, and it all ties together really good in the story, because this is more about, like, this is more so much a coming of age film, because now you've got like Riley is getting into her teenage years, whatever, and how she's feeling in school or whatever, and it just fits together so well, and it works so good with the movie. I think that the villain in this film is just is pretty good. I think you've got some great moments. The animation in this film is amazing, and so I don't know what to say. A really good sequel that for me might I maybe have to give this film a rewatch or something, but so far now probably actually surpasses the original film for me. So yeah, I don't really know what to say. And I'm excited for other things Pixar is going to do. So yeah, this was I was very, very happy when I saw this film. And at number 1, everyone, thing you've been all waiting for. I'm not gonna try to waste that much time. Or at number 1 or whatever, I have got
The Substance.
Alright, The Substance. This film, I swear to God, like, I don't think this is that much of a surprise, but I have quite a lot to talk about here. When I first heard about this film, I'd heard that it's been getting pretty damn good reviews. It had like an 8 out of 10 or something on IMDb when I first heard about this film. I'd seen that like Spooky Astronauts had reviewed it and stuff, and I didn't know that much about the film. It got like more popular or whatever, and a little bit more people were talking about it as time went on. And I actually think it's quite crazy, because I actually think this film, when I saw it, was at the cinemas or whatever in Sweden. Now, very rarely I think it is that this film, I think, dropped in cinemas in Sweden before it dropped in like the United States or the UK or something, from what I remember, or something like that. And for me, that was just like, wait, really? How? So I had heard a little bit about this film. It'd been getting some buzz as time went on, but yeah, I hadn't watched, I don't think I had watched a trailer of the film or something, from what I remember, but I think I knew that this was like a body horror film or something. And I'm gonna get more into that soon. So I really, really wanted to watch the film, and I wasn't feeling that great then. I'm still not feeling that great now, but you know, it's just things in my life, but still, and something that would make me better. So I went to the cinema, and I checked out, and one day after school or something, it was on a Wednesday, I think, I went to the cinema and checked out The Substance with my mum. I don't know, man. I probably should check your parents' guide on IMDb before, but the first time I checked this film out in cinema with my mum, and my god, like, you've got a lot of nudity in this film, which came out of kind of nowhere, I guess. And I was just like, yeah, okay, but they're probably not gonna show. Oh, look at that, the ceiling looks extra nice today. I had to pull one of those. I just looked at my mother and was just like, alright, yeah. Close-ups on butts and tits and... Okay, alright. And for her, that was just, I mean, she just kind of looked at me a bit in disgust or whatever. And then she literally said to me, what are we watching or something like that? What are you watching or something? I don't know what it was. It was embarrassing, at least. It was, but then you got into the body horror moments and stuff. She thought it was really gross, obviously, of course. But I think I don't know. I didn't think the whole cinema or whatever was silent, or it was that they said like and stuff maybe I heard from behind me or something. But I didn't know that I was gonna like the film. What I can do, I didn't know that the film, I knew that the film was gonna be quite crazy, but I didn't know that it was gonna be this crazy. And the trailer is the trailer for this film is also a really good trailer, because it doesn't tell you that much about the film, and it doesn't show a lot of the film. What I can tell you is that it's definitely not a Blumhouse trailer. Yeah. And when we finished the film, I was speechless. I think my mother was like speechless. And then on the bus on the way home, whatever, she was just like, "Are you sure you're okay after watching this film?" And I was just like, "Yeah, I'm fine. And I think we kind of just like laughed or something, but she enjoyed the film a lot. She gave it like an 8 out of 10 or something. And I actually gave it a 7 out of 10 at the first time, because for me, I think I've said this before, theatre experiences for me when it comes to films, I like the films less than when I watch it in the cinema or whatever than when I watch it at home, because I feel like then everyone kind of can see the editing in the film or just things in the film which maybe are a little bit over the top, but that I feel like, oh, maybe these people don't understand this or whatever, or maybe this is maybe for a few people this really isn't going to work. So then for me, that ruins my experience with the film. So for me, it was first like a 7 out of 10. I was just like, all right, it was crazy. I liked it, but I was quite disappointed by it. And then I thought like, oh, the ending isn't, the ending was so over the top and stuff. And I don't really know what to say. I watched, and then I think sometime later, I think like a few weeks later or something like that, I watched the film again. And then I loved the film. And I gave it a 5 out of 5. Right now, the film is a 4.5 out of 5 for me on Letterboxd or whatever. But still, it was almost, for me, maybe like a perfect film or something. Because I watched it again and I learned to appreciate things and to understand the film a lot more. How it deals with these things with, like, I guess, how people treat women's bodies and beauty standards and stuff like that, and how you've got so many strong things and things that this film is dealing with so much, which are so actually so strong things, how people actually really feel like in life. I'm talking about things like the scene in the mirror or whatever, and putting on the makeup and stuff, and it's so gut punching, and it's for me, I can't relate. Obviously, I can't relate to I don't know, putting on the. All right, the point is, yeah, you've got the body horror moments in here which are outstanding. The practical effects are really, really good. The storytelling in this film is, even though it keeps itself pretty simple, it's still wild and crazy. And this film has so many memorable moments. The body horror is outstanding, and it's crazy. It's extremely gross, and it's just it really, really. I'm really looking forward to what this director. This film was almost, I think that this film is like almost very, very close to being the same level of love that I have for John Carpenter's The Thing, which is probably like my favorite body horror film of all time, or also one of the best body horror films of all time. So I might even actually like The Substance more. Like, I don't really know what to say. It's such an incredibly crazy film. And I was just like, all right, I think this film is going to be now talked about for a pretty damn long time. And to this day, I don't know, I saw this film on I think it was the 18th September, if I have to be like really specific. But this film is, I think, like, still talked about to this day, whatever, and still popular to this day. So it's extremely memorable. I don't really know what to tell you. For a few people, this film is going to be like so, I guess, I don't know, maybe so gross and so weird and stuff and so over the top maybe. For me, it really, really, really worked. I'm really looking forward to what this director, I don't know how you say her name, I think it's like Coralie Farge or something, but to what this director does next. I've seen the Substance behind the scenes or whatever. In fact, I actually saw that yesterday from when I'm recording this video. I really, really liked that. I thought it was very interesting. I think you can watch the thing on YouTube. It's like 28 minutes or something like that. I haven't seen the director's first film or other film, whatever, called Revenge, but it's definitely something I want to see. But right now, I'm keeping my eyes peeled, because if I don't really know if this director, whatever, maybe like keeps on making these I don't know, really serious and crazy body horror films or whatever, or just something like that, whatever, or just keeps on making these really strong gut-punching films, then my eyes are definitely peeled, and I'm definitely very intrigued and interested to see what this director can do, because my goodness, is this a wild, crazy, gross, memorable movie and everything, and I just love it so much. So yeah, all right everyone, there we go. I think that was like, this is the last video or whatever, part 3 or whatever, or the last part of this ranking, all the 2024 films or whatever that I saw in 2024, from worst to best, 64 films. I think this was. The thing is, I did see some other 2024 films in 2024, but even though they were not, like, I guess, made 24 or whatever, for example, why you don't see some films in this list, for example, Infested, or Vermins or whatever, that film, I think, just got really quite popular, at least in 2024, but it came out in like 2023 or something like that. So this one wasn't, I was sorting on the Letterboxd, how Letterboxd sorted it, and not actually on like a list. So that's why maybe Vermins or Infested wasn't in this big list, but you know. And there's some other 2024 films that I've checked out in 2025, but those ones, obviously, it's 2024 films that I saw in 2024, so you know. So but when it comes to 2024 films that I've seen in 2025, you've got things like Subservience, Nosferatu. I definitely think we've got some other ones. I don't know, but thank you everyone for watching this little series, or whatever you want to say. Yeah, all right, goodbye.